Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another installment of Check This Out. In this episode, we're going to be checking out and unboxing the Neewer 3-pack LED softbox lighting kit. This kit comes with the following. It has 3 48-watt, 168 LED dimmable light heads with a color temperature range of 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. It has 3 20 by 28 soft boxes, 2 light stands, and 1 boom arm stand for overhead lighting. It also comes with a 2.4 gigahertz remote for dimming and color temperature, and 1 carry bag. So let's see what we've got. Okay, I went ahead and got it out of the box that it came in. I haven't looked inside it yet. Of course, I know basically what's in there, but I want to check out the build quality. The reason why I got this lighting set was I was watching a gentleman from, I believe it was the channel Visual Authority. It gave me some really good tips on how to light a green screen better. I was getting a lot of problems with shadows, and of course that leads to artifacts around the subject, and he gave me some real good advice. He said, just light the green screen alone. Then come out, bring your subject out past the lights, and then light the subject separately. That way you're not going to get any shadows on the green screen. Well, I didn't have enough lights to do that. I'm fairly new to YouTube and only a couple months in now. And I basically really only have 2 lights. I have a third one that I can use on the camera. So figured out I needed some more lights. So let's get this open here. Take a look inside and see what we have. Okay, well, let's start with the lights themselves. Here we have the 168 LED. Looks like it'll probably be quite bright. A little bit disappointed. This one's all plastic. The last ones I got from Neewer were mostly metal. Had the barn door shutters on them. Most of the body of it was all metal. It had some plastic end pieces, and the battery holders were plastic, but yeah, not quite like this one here. This is pretty light and pretty much all plastic. It does have a place here to take a couple of the Sony what is it, the NW48. No, that's not the one there. It's just sorry, that's just the specs on the light itself. I'll put the model number for the battery that goes in this. The one thing I like about it is the I have a monitor from Neewer. It uses the same batteries. My other light uses the same batteries. So I do like that feature there. I can use the same batteries for all the different lights. Let's see what else we got in here. We got 3 of the lights all together. Just like it said. We also have some color filters here too. Yeah, it looks like there is a protective plastic on them. I thought they were all scratched there for a minute, but they're not. There's just a plastic layer over it to protect them. We got blue, red, and yellow in those. That'll be nice for special effects. Of course, our instruction manual, I'll be reading that a little bit when we go to the setup of these. Let's see what else we have here. There, it looks like we have 4-channel 2.4 gigahertz remote. That'll be handy, especially for the overhead one, when you don't want to be lowering it down to change the color temperature, to change the brightness. Good idea there. And here we have just the standard Neewer power pack. And it looks like the exact same connection that they use on the other lights, so that's nice. They'd be interchangeable with the other ones that I have. Got 3 of those. Of course, we need that since we have 3 lights. Here we have, these must be the soft boxes. Yep. There we have the stiffening rods for them. And here's the diffuser for the front. And there's the soft box itself. We'll get a better look at that later when we set it up. Camera angle's a little bit too close right now. Here we have, looks like the arm, the control arm for the boom. I'll have to figure out how to set all that up. That will be for the overhead lighting rig. And another softbox. That must be another softbox for probably the overhead one. No, there's the third one. I'm not sure what this one is. Let's take a look at it and see if I can figure it out. Probably would have helped to read the instructions first, but I wanted to open this up and find out the same time you guys did. Oh, these are the sandbags. Okay, of course there's no sand that comes with them, but you can hang these on. You can hang these on the back of the boom as a counterweight, so that the weight of the light doesn't put a lot of stress on that one little plastic control arm we looked at. And this here, that's a pretty thick. That's a pretty thick one there. That must be for our boom light. And here's the tripod for the boom light. This one is a little bit heavier than the ones I got with the other set. I must say, they have a lot heavier lockdowns here. The legs are much, much thicker than the other set that I got. I'll show you that too here sometime, the ones I'm using right now, but this looks like this one's going to be a little bit more heavy duty. And then here we have 2 more. Of the light stands, and I think that this one here is maybe just a slight bit heavier than the last ones I got with the other set of lights. Not a whole lot. Yeah, I would say that the center tube is thicker, and it looks like these connections here for tightening it down look a little bit thicker also. All right, we got 2 of those. And I think that's about it, except for our trusty silica gel. Got to have that. Keep the humidity down inside here. The case is typical Neewer stuff. It's functional. It's not bad. It's okay for the price. I mean, this one here was, they had a $50 off coupon, so this whole set was under $200. And I've been pretty pleased with the other Neewer lights I had, and with the interchangeability of the batteries and everything. I think that, you know, it is what it is for the money. You know, some professional's probably not going to be using this where he's going to be throwing this bag in and out of a van all day long. But, you know, you take care of it, use it for a YouTube home studio, it's not going to be all that bad. Now I've just got to figure out how to get everything back in there and store it. Okay, let's go to some of the assembly of it now and see what it looks like as we start setting it up. Well, here we have the finished product. As you can see, these guys light up the green screen pretty darn nice. Pretty even lighting. As you can see here, when I run my hand in front of it, very little in the way of shadows. Almost nothing back on the green screen at all. You get out here about a foot away from it, and it's really not picking up much of anything. Now you may ask why I didn't show the assembly of these things. That's because these are some of the most fiddly things that I've ever had to play with. Getting these hoods on here are a complete pain in the butt. They have little rods that go down through here, and little teeny holes here and the light head itself. There you can see one of them right there. And you have to try to get one of them in place, and then to try to find the pocket up at this other end. It's a little piece of Velcro, and it's really tight, and you have to try to get the other end of the rod up into that pocket. And then while you're keeping this whole unit here on the outside of it, you have to put another rod on the other side. Then you need to try to install the third one while these things are flopping all over the place. Just a complete pain in the butt to try to get them on there. It's been about 2 hours since I shot the last part of the video. It took me that long to try to get these things together. But now that they are, I can't say that they're terrible. Are these a great light? No. They're an okay light. The softboxes seem to be made of pretty thick material. They're not bad at all. The diffusers on the front, the material is thin, but it needs to be for the light to get through. The fit and finish is not awful on the thing. The whole unit is kind of light. It's really easy to pick up and move around. It's probably because it's all plastic. The adjustments on the back here are pretty easy. You can control the light intensity with the one knob, and then the color temperature with the other. The overhead light is also a little bit fiddly to get right to. The place in the base here, where you hook that rod onto the base, it did not want to fit all the way down on there. There's a rubber piece, a little tip on top of the end of the rod that goes up in there. And that little piece of rubber would not let me seat it all the way down. Would not let me seat it all the way down on there. I had to trim that piece of rubber back, because if you have that thing too high and you put all that weight on it, and you put the counterweights on it, the whole thing has a tendency to want to kind of feel like it wants to fall off. Not the best thing. The sandbags are pretty decent quality, pretty thick nylon all the way around. The strap is pretty thick nylon. I had some dried beans. I had 4 pounds of dried beans, and they were already in a bag, so I just put them inside. I just put them inside the sandbags. They have little pockets in them. And you can just open them up and drop them right down in there. It shouldn't be a problem at all. And it does seem to be doing pretty well as a counterweight. This unit right here, where you adjust it, that there, I'm a little leery of the quality of it. But overall, if you can find these things for, you know, under $200, they have 2 light sets, so usually like right around $149. To get the third one with the boom for about another 50 bucks. The boom stand is a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier duty. Overall, it's really not a bad set. You're definitely not going to be doing any traveling with this unless you can take the light boxes off and have a big van or something. You can just set them in whole, because you definitely don't want to try to be, you know, putting any type of taking those rods in and out to collapse the things and try to get it all into the case. It will literally take you hours to set it back up. I mean, I got a little bit better by the third one. It was a little bit better, made a little bit better time. I wanted all these oriented in the vertical position here so that it casts light up and down the green screen a lot easier. And then one time I ended up putting them on that I had the rods reversed and the things were horizontal, so I had to take it off. So some of these I had to do 2 times, 3 times to get it all the way that I wanted it. So for a budget-minded YouTube studio, I don't think it's too bad. It really casts off a lot of nice light, and being able to change the colors with the filters, being able to change the color temperature, you know, from white, from like tungsten down to the yellow light, not too bad. I haven't really tried out the remote control yet, but I'm planning on it. So anyhow, let's take a look at the internet, Amazon, and see what the prices are right now. See what kind of options we have for this thing. Okay, taking a look at this here on Amazon. As of the time of this recording, this setup is $238, but they do have a coupon here for an extra $50 off. So, you know, that's coming out to about $190 for the whole set. That's really not too bad. I'd say it's probably worth it. There's a few shots with the specs on it there. Most of that we kind of went over already anyhow. Here's somebody, well, he may be doing that in the studio. If he's doing that on location with these, and if there's any kind of wind at all, I have a feeling that the bride is going to get hit in the head with a light. The color filters do make some nice effects on that one there, I can see that, but I would say these are for the studio only. I wouldn't try to transport these anywhere. For a budget conscious YouTuber, yeah, might not be too bad a thing. This here is the other set that I got. This one was $195. It was really almost more, but you know what? The build quality of these is much, much better. Everything's all metal here. You got these like bronze covered screws on the side. The frames that hold them are all metal. Back here on the back frame of it is all metal. A little bit of plastic on the sides, but where the screws go through, that's all metal on the inside. The barn door shutters, they're all metal. The frame that they hook to is all metal. About the only bad thing I can say about this one is if you mount this one in the horizontal position, I don't think they have any pictures of it here. Even the base of it here, this is not plastic either. This is metal down here. Yeah, okay, right here. If you mount it in the horizontal position like that, it does give you a little more flexibility in how you can move the light because of the barn door shutters getting in the way. But when all of that weight is sticking out, if you don't have the leg of the tripod kind of facing in the direction of the light, it has a tendency to want to tip if you're not real careful with it. Right there it shows the horizontal mount position, which is fine, but you just got to be a little bit careful with it, especially when you have it run all the way up and you bump into it. You could tip it over really easy. One other thing I did buy off of Neewer also was the Greenscreen you saw in there. This one right now is selling for $46.99, but they also have a coupon for another 20% off of that, so that's really not too bad. The frame on this is really nice and thick. I'm telling you, when you take it out of the bag and that thing springs out and tightens up, the spring steel that they use in the frame of it is very, very heavy duty. That's not too bad of a Greenscreen for less than $40 after the discount. And it's pretty good size too. Let's see, it says 5 by 6 feet. It'll work. You can mount it horizontal or vertical. So I think that's about it. Would I advise you get it? Really all depends on your situation. If you're going to be using it just inside in a studio, yeah, it's probably not too bad for the money. The other set that I bought's been working really well, so the reliability seems to be all right. I haven't used it for years yet, but everything seems to be working well on it. So that's about the end of it for the Neewer 3-pack LED softbox set. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I will put a link in the description down below. I did find one brave soul that decided to show people how to put those hoods on. His video is not very good. He's running around in sweatpants and he's playing with the dog quite a bit, but he does seem to have a method for getting those on there. So if you do get those and you're not very mechanically inclined, you might want to get somebody else to help, because I'm fairly mechanically inclined and I had a struggle with the darn things. So anyhow, that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Check This Out.